Welcome everybody, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be beginning a Triple Crown playthrough of Pillars of Eternity and the White March, parts 1 and 2. This is not going to be the solo one, unfortunately. That is just too hard and too annoying. This is just going to be a straight up Triple Crown with a group. The group is going to be custom made. We are not using any of the in-game NPCs. They are just quite frankly not good enough to bring along with us for Triple Crown achievement. They're fun to play around with and get RP purposes out of, but they are not strong enough in terms of stat distribution and stuff. So our first character, after we select all of 3 of our deadly things and watch the intro, of course.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Alright, a fairly ominous start to our journey, but we knew that was going to happen because we've done this before. So let's pick our race or our gender. We're going to be male. This is our usual. We are going to be, I played around with this a bit, so I was torn between being a Hearth Orlin, which are really kind of good. So they get some of their crits converted to hits. They're quite a decent race for the class we're going to be playing. The other thing that's really good is the Moon Godlike for the healing. It's super good against, well, for what we want this character to be. And this character is going to be a paladin. He's going to be a tank. We need to have a very careful group design to make this run through work well. The other thing you can do, the last thing you can also do, is have a pale elf, because they have burn and freeze damage reductions, which is really nice. And I pondered this for a good amount of time before deciding upon the Moon Godlike. The healing is so good, and I think it'll be very useful for us when we're going to do this game. So we've got our... Didn't I hit next? Oh, body type. We can make ourselves look beefy. We might as well make ourselves look huge, because we are tanks, and tanks are big guys. They're like the linebackers of the fantasy world. We are going to be a paladin, of course. And paladins are really good at tanking if they're built right. I built mine horribly wrong. Now, in terms of picking a faction, I was kinda wavering on this. I really like the Bleakwalkers. I think they're really cool. The Darkosi Paladin, like, this doesn't really do anything for your thing, but I think we're going to play an evil group again. So let's be the Bleakwalkers. They like to be cruel and aggressive, and they disfavor benevolent and diplomatic, and that's what we're going to be. So our first ability is not going to be Flames of Devotion. It's going to be Lay on Hands. The healing is marginal, but not too bad. It will be good the way we're going to be using it. So in terms of stats, we're going to leave strength at 10. That's perfectly acceptable. We're going to be leaving dexterity at 10 as well. Constitution is going to remain as 10 as well. I know that seems really weird, and it's like, oh my god, you're not going to have any hit points, but don't worry too much about that. We're going to grab 17 perception, because the reflex save, interrupt, and accuracy are all pretty good. Intelligence is going to be 14. This is for a little bit of role playing. It's not super important. It gives us some will, which is nice. and then the rest is going into deflection. So that's where we're sitting at right now in terms of stats. So we have 10 might, 10 constitution, 10 dexterity, 17 perception, and 14 and 16. We're gonna hit next. Now we get to choose where we're from, which of course gives us some stuff. So we can choose Adiran, which gives us another resistance, which is actually what we are going to be. We can choose the Deadfire Archipelago, which is dexterity, and then the Ishamatil Plains, which are resolve and intellect. Actually, we could be Ishamatil Plains too. Then I'm covered in leather-looking armor. Oh, but then I get an axe. Axes are cool. And Constitution, Living Lands is might. The White That Wends is a big sword, but we're going with Adiran for the resolve. I think either the Adiran or Examital Plains. It doesn't particularly matter, actually, so let's go with the Plains. Adiran, actually, you know what? Adiran, let's go Adiran. There we go. We can choose a background as well. So you can get things like survival, lore, stealth, lore, survival, stealth, athletics, lore, athletics, survival, lore mechanics, athletics, mechanics, stealth mechanics, and so on. We're going to go with, what do I want? Athletics lore. So we are going to be a mercenary. Blade in battle is our way of life. You solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. Sounds about right. So next, our colors, we are evil. So why not go with some evil colors? Let's go with that. That looks nice. And then some, no, we'll just go black again. Let's have like a dark gray. Oh well. There. That makes us look pretty cool. Kind of dusky, I guess, but good enough. Let's pick a different head. I don't like that head particularly. That one's neat-ish. What about this one? I look like Loki. You know what? I'll take that one. That looks, no, we'll go with this one. That's a way cooler crown-looking thingy. Now, we need to pick an awesome... That sort of looks like our character, I guess. Actually, it looks like our character if we went with this one. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's look like our portrait. Why not? Alright, let's pick a voice.
Hey there.
Now I am the leader of the group. Stand together!
To whispers and shadows.
Not that one.
What is it? Now I am the leader of the group. A blade in the dark. Well?
That sounds good. We'll keep sinister. This guy's name is going to be... I should have thought of some names. Sharon Set. He's our group leader. And so we enter the game itself. These videos will be done in half-an-hour interval. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods towards a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink. Called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker. Let's see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Odima looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfle who carries an old sun-bleached bow. He nods in our direction. Sparfle nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are these ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
He adds with a wink. Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Odima shrugs. Is it dangerous out here?
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
There is concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a Biewac, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
What are these huge rocks coming out of the ground?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories.
I don't. Odima frowns.
It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I'll go see about these berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the night's journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time.
He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Odima chuckles and shakes his head. He looks at you and casts a sidelong glance at her.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Biewac, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Odima's small grin recedes beneath his mustache. He's stern once
You're
more.
the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
As you wish.
Alright, so this is
Yes.
our initial starting group. We have our paladin, obviously, who has, moderately good starting stacks, except his fortitude isn't so good, but that's because he has a strange illness. Not the ideal situation.
What you need?
And then we have a first level fighter named Kalisha. She is mostly for beating things in the face. That's pretty much all she's got going for her. I have some stuff in my inventory though. I have a Cloak of the Ascidian Order, which actually does nothing at all. But it looks cool, so let's apparently not put it on. There we go. It looks fancy. And I have a giant miniature space piglet, which again is a throwback to Baldur's Gate 2, and Gon's Pledge is a heal, so it's actually kind of useful for the beginning of the game. I thought it changed our stats for some reason, but it does not. I don't think we have the mechanic skill to get into that chest. We do not. So let's go see what's over here.
What is it?
Our character is very tall, comparatively. We do have one lockpick and some deerwooden clothing. We don't have the lockpicks for that. And we need mechanics 1, actually, would be good. Unfortunately, none of our
Well,
tiny group have any mechanic skills, so that's not going to work out so well.
Anyone need supplies?
You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Got a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He shakes his head and laughs when he notices you. He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Why not? So he does have weapons and some basic armor. We don't have a lot of gold though. We only have 110. So really, we could buy a lockpick. We could buy a couple lockpicks and see if we can lockpick that chest. But first I have to take this phone call, so I'll be right back in 1 second. And I am back. Sorry about that. We are going to open the chest just to see what's inside of it. There's no point in not doing so. It's going to take most of our money, but that's okay. Could be something cool inside, who knows.
There's a way. It's finished.
A potion of minor endurance. I don't know if that was actually worth it, but still. It was kind of neat to see what was inside. There's no point in not doing it, really. I mean, we lose a little gold, but we will soon find out that gold is not particularly important in this game.
Something else you need?
And also we can sell a potion, probably for way more than we picked it up for. There we go. We made some money on that deal. Now, what is our character using for weapons? Oh, he doesn't have any talents yet, so we don't actually have to choose a weapon yet. He does have a shield on him and a breastplate. So we have medium DR 18 or 8 armor, which is
something else you need?
not particularly awesome. Does he have anything better to offer us for a reasonable price? DR 10 is not bad. And we already have a medium heater shield. We also are using an axe or something along those lines. She's using a battle axe, and we are using a sword.
What is it?
Right, because we're a Deerin. I forgot. Alright, we're going to move off carefully. We can't save, so there's no point in quick saving. And we're going to go talk to Sparful.
We'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Thank you for your fine helpfulness, good sir. So we're going to just carefully... We should be wandering in stealth mode, just in case. That's not where we're going. The path
Shouldn't
winds
stray too far.
through a narrow
Let's check by
canyon.
those outcroppings.
Yeah, I'm working on that. There's a young wolf here, so there is a fight.
What is it?
It's going to be... she is... Though she is a fighter, she is not as tanky as we are. And we're going to have to be very careful with this fight, because wolves, while not particularly tough, are tougher than we are. We do have a lay on hands, so...
What is it? What is it?
Okay, so there's 2 wolves. We're going to let them come to us,
As you...
and make sure we don't disengage. She is going to disengage. And we got to kind of watch our life a little bit. Now, he is flanked, which is not good. But we should be just fine. And we're gonna just out-tank the wolves. They only hit for 2 or something like that, so... And we do heal ourselves with our moon godlike power, which is quite nice and super useful. There's no more wolves up here.
This is it.
That was quick. You look like you've seen your share of action. What did you do before you came out here? I was a blade for hire. Yeah? How did you happen to come here? I've never been good at anything else, but I need to go where there's work that pays... No, let's see. Let's just say I don't have the most sparkling of reputations at home. Here, I'm anonymous. Well, we've all got things we like to leave behind. Gods know I do. I'll tell you that. Here's hoping that they never track us down. Kalisha breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes the girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle down like the rest of the lot? It's a hard offer to pass up. You won't find many others like it in these parts, believe me. I got some big plans in store. Getting filthy rich. Ah, man after my own heart. May your luck be better than mine. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odima will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. What can you tell me about the Deerwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I guess I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Why are you out here? Kalisha sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. Haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Ishamatil? But I'd do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me, so I'm here and we'll see. Odima, I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. Tell me about yourself. I got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rawatai and another in Adir. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. That's it. Let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfell's gotten you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. So, our first encounter of the game went well. No significant deaths. We are going to go in stealth mode, though, because not dying is a good thing. Now, we are going to go down this way. There are things to explore in this area.
Yes.
Let's organize our group a tiny bit better. We want our tank in the front. She is actually capable of tanking. Actually, she might have better armor than I do. And if she does, I'm going to swap them up. /9, Pierce 5, Freeze 9 versus Pierce 10, Burn 7, Freeze 7. I think mine's a teensy bit better, even though the recovery speed is higher. Alright, let's go take a quick peek. We want to gather everything we can in the easier parts of the game. It will make the later parts of the game somewhat easier for us. Our group is going to consist of our paladin, who is the primary tank, a fighter, who will be our secondary tank, a chanter, who's going to be our primary buffer, a cipher, a wizard. How many is that? Paladin, fighter, chanter, cipher, wizard, and a priest. It is basically like my group in the normal game. However, we are going to make them way, way better than the group that we have in my main playthrough. And the reason for this is the main playthrough group is mostly for role-playing. They're not awesome travelers, maybe, or looters, or bandits. Bad side, any way you figure it. There's a corpse here with a lockpick and some leather armor. Leather armor is not too bad. It is medium armor. So in this game, for those of you who don't know, I'm guessing most of the people that know what a Triple Crown achievement is know quite a bit about the game. But there are 3 classes of armor. There's light armor, which makes faster recovery time, but doesn't have as much damage reduction. There is medium armor with more damage reduction, but more recovery time between actions. And there is heavy armor with the most recovery time between actions and the heaviest damage reduction. So those are the main things.
What a surprise. Sparfel went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on. This is recent. Not good.
It's not good at all. But there is an ale for
I
us.
see something.
And we found something. Oh, we got the Disappointer, which is the funnest gun in the game. So, I'm going to show you guys. It's a unique gun. The Disappointer is actually the worst weapon ever. So it's got -8 accuracy. It is terrible. -33 damage. Awful. It does have 6 damage reduction bypass, which is pretty nice, and a -3 to critical damage multiplier, which is awful too. The Disappointer was touted as a powerful, reliable weapon, but it's consistently failed every one of its unfortunate owners. This is a terrible weapon that disappoints anyone that uses it. The gun appears well made at first glance, but closer scrutiny reveals poor design and shoddy craftsmanship. Those who aren't fooled by its appearance still occasionally attempt to use it just to see if maybe the whole thing was made to look like this was an elaborate ruse, hoping that it is an artifact of extreme power crafted by a master who desired to conceal its remarkable nature. It wasn't, and it isn't. Ah, that's one of my favorite items in the entire game. It's just so funny. It's such a disappointment to everybody. So nothing over here. We're gonna unstealth. I keep going for the quick save. I'm not gonna lie, I just keep going for the quick save. I'm like, I need to quick save. Oh, right, no quick save in sight. And now we're gonna very carefully explore around this area. We're gonna just kind of glance. I don't think there's anything else, but I just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure we got everything. Yeah, okay. So let's grab the water skin. You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kalista waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. Out of the trees emerges Sparkle, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness in his gait, his stride wobbly as he moved towards you with labored breath.
Sparkle, are you all right?
Kalisha frowns. Sparkle's toe catches on a rock and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Oh no! There's enemies.
Ambush!
There's one ambusher? Okay, so you are gonna fight him, and you're gonna fight him. She should be more than capable of laying waste to this stupid guy as fast as possible. And we're gonna knock her down. There we go, that should take care of that. He doesn't have a whole lot going for him just yet in terms of skills, so he's just gonna tank that guy like his job entails. And the thing hits pretty hard. I can lay on hands myself, which I might do. I think it's a per rest power. No, it's an encounter power. You might as well use it.
Attack!
There we go. And we won our fight. So that is 2 enemies down. Let's go loot their bodies. There's some hide armor and a bow on the one. And some gold on the other.
Keeping an eye out.
Now this fight could be tough. There is no saving, of course, so we're going to be kind of careful in how to approach this.
Keeping an eye out.
There are enemies.
Well?
Oh good, he saw us a little bit. Okay, let's knock one of these guys down. Oh, don't miss the knockdown, that's bad news. Come on, hit him down. Oh, that was just bad all around, okay. Let's kill that one first. One damage, that's bad, bad, bad. Okay. Hopefully, any second now we'll hit him for a reasonable amount. Near death. Okay, good. We're gonna flank. We don't have any more knockdowns, which is super duper unfortunate. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the tilde key. Now Yi's gonna heal himself. He's hurting a little bit. Lay on hands, so good in the beginning of the game. It's not so good later on, it doesn't do a whole lot of healing comparatively to other things. But when it does do in the beginning of the game, it lets you survive a lot longer. And actually we're gonna end the video pretty soon here. Why can't I... Oh, I see. I accidentally had my... When you press the tilde key, it launches a command prompt. You can't move while it's open. So, there are some hatchets, some hide armor, copper, stuff like that, and a buckler. I think that's going to be the end of our first video. We're going to... or maybe we should try it. We'll do this fight, and then we'll call it a video, I think. There's no point in trying to stealth it in. This is definitely a fight you cannot avoid. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife-hilts splayed, and bug-eyed and filthy. Kalisha puts the back of her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Heodin, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, Tresessor. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. The ruin has not been sullied by our hands, men of Glenfath. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. What am I gonna say? Judging by the string of animal teeth around your neck, I'm guessing you are worshippers of Galawain. If Galawain told you to stop protecting the ruins, would you? The man frowns and motions as if to swing his axe. Hayden winces, but the blow never comes. Instead, the man cocks his head, intrigued. Of course, but he would not. It is by the command of all the gods that we accept this charge. How do you know? Because it's consistent with their beliefs, or because it's what you are told? The man glares. It has always been known to my people. I see, and what of Galawain's edict that weakness and age must be purged by youth and strength? You think Galawain would want some moldy, crumbling stones to survive long after their builders have turned to dust? The man's nostrils flare as he fumes. He would not. He told us otherwise. I'm sure he did, just not you personally, but why should that stop you from killing innocents? Distracted, the man's grip falters on the axe handle, which he nearly fumbles, affording Hayden the moment he needs to dodge out of the swing, which comes too late. Howling with rage, the man charges you instead. So this fight is a little bit bad, because for us, in the beginning, we do have Hayden, and he's going to run for his life, hopefully. Because we need him to do damage while we take the hits. Okay, so we're going to move in. Go. Okay, keep running. Oh, we got a distant... Oh, it's an archer that's fighting us. Okay. Run! You know what? We're going to run him as far away as humanly possible. Just go. He's taking 2 enemies with him. He can turn around when it's time to come back. Oh, why did you... Oh, he stopped. That's stupid of him. Okay, fight that one. Whatever. We'll let him fight for his life, I guess. And then the fighter will go help him if he survives that long. Oh, everyone wants a piece of him. He's probably going to die then. But maybe not. Let's go see if we can help him out. He's not a very good tank. Come on. Okay, one's down. Run away! Nope. Yes, no, yes, he's alive. Oh, he's not going to survive that, though. No. Okay, so the leader is going to fight my character, and she is going to take on these guys. I might be able to win against the leader, actually, in a battle of attrition. He will return to life at the end of this fight, and we might be able to get him in the caves. Oh, we actually got a good hit in there. That's amazing. That's the most damage I think we've ever done. We got a whole 11 damage. And we'll heal ourselves up, of course. I'm not too worried about our main character dying. I'm just a little bit worried that it's going to take 8 years to finish this fight. Okay. So. Nice. We won the fight. Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companion is now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sights, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes rolls back as he closes them. Good. Good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I'm ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to sweep beneath your skin. Where it pierces you, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across his chest and bow, Odima's body stirs, and with great effort, he raises his sagging head, eyes barely open, and looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
That's pretty cool. That's a Biewac. Striding against the gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of a weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hayden trails behind, slowed by an injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death lunges for Hayden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Hayden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you, despite the wind from your position. If you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you would have a good chance of hitting your mark. We will do so. Your aim is true. The hit jars Hayden loose. Lurching to his feet, Hayden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold on just long enough for Hayden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance in the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet, inside the very cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. And we are inside. That's going to be the end of our video. We went a little bit over time. The videos are generally going to be about half an hour long. It's not like we have a lot of reload ability, so if we die, that's going to be it. It's going to be an abrupt ending to our journey.
A Biewac. Had to be.
Hayden's words come between wheezing gasps.
And we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
She has a good point, and that is what we will be doing in the next video. We have garbage for loot, but that's okay. We're gonna... Oh, we can't ride in expert mode or Path of the Damned or whichever one we're on. We can't actually get our inventory. That's correct. I forgot about that. So, our weapon is going to be a torch. Wait. Take off the weapon. Give me the weapon. There we go. That is our new weapon. It's not very good, but, you know, whatever. It's a torch. Alright, I see you guys in the next video. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.